Hi, everybody, and welcome to the TCW Fantasy Wrestling First Show Recap. This is Scott here, and we have just finished an awesome event in Ann Arbor, Michigan at Party Central, and I am here to give you all the recap of the 1025 or of the TCW Fantasy Wrestling here on the 102550 network on YouTube. You guys can check us out, tinyurl.com/102550. But this is TCW Fantasy Wrestling. And here we go. We had our first match. The first match back in TCW as Twin Ports Gold. Tom Bronze and Danny Silver faced off against Twisted Killer and Carolina Chris as the Carolina Connection. And Twin Ports Gold pulls off the victory. They use the Twin Ports Splash where they both go off the rope on to Twisted Killer, and they move on in the tag team title tournament. Folks, Twin Ports Gold, they want that gold around their waist. So check it out. Twin Ports Gold moves on against the Carolina Connection. Carolina Chris, though, will be in the junior heavyweight. So check him out. And Twisted Killer is going for the Hardcore Championship sometime in the near future. But Twin Ports Gold, Danny Silver, Tom Bronze, pulls off the victory. Then we have a high-flying match. The junior heavyweight qualifier. We have Phil Angel, who is from Salt Lake City, Utah, and Cookie Lopez from Chico, California, one of my favorite cities. And what happened at this match, folks? It went 13 minutes in length. Phil Angel was hitting Cookie Lopez with everything he had, but Cookie Lopez hit that top rope Huracan Rana on Phil Angel and knocked him out. Cookie Lopez wins the match and goes on in the junior heavyweight qualifier. He'll be fighting on Monday. Look forward to see Cookie Lopez again, and he'll be fighting on Monday, and it'll be great. Phil Angel, he might be out for a little bit, but Phil took the loss, and he's out of the Junior Heavyweight Championship tournament. Then next we had a hardcore match between Sinner and the Hooded Inmate, 325 pounds from the Texas State Penitentiary. The Hooded Inmate, you know what, folks? We pay so much money to get him out of prison just so he can come and wrestle for you guys. And he faces off against Sinner. Sinner, at a respectable 265 pounds, fought for his life. It was Falls Count Anywhere. They went in the crowd. They went out to the concession arena, and Hooded Inmate powerbombs Sinner through the concession stand with all the t-shirts. He might have to pay for that. Too bad he only makes $1 a day making your license plate. But he might get half of his check taken away from TCW officials because he ruined all the damn t-shirts at the concession stand. And so we're going to have to do something about that, folks. But Hooded Inmate drags Sinner back to the ring. I have no idea why he came to the ring until he set him up for a top rope powerbomb. The Hooded Inmate calls that the fatal blow right there. And the Hooded Inmate pins Sinner, moving on in the hardcore title tournament. Hooded Inmate's going to be facing off against Bloodbath McGrath on Monday in a hardcore match. And that one's going to be a quarterfinal for the World Hardcore Championship that TCW is going to have. So Hooded Inmate, Bloodbath McGrath is going to happen on Monday. And it's going to be in a steel cage. Look forward to that hardcore match. Hooded Inmate knows what it's like to be in cages, folks. The next match we had was a tag team women's match. It was a one-fall affair with Cherry Lollipop and Rainbow Light against Ann and Alicia Slutcake. Yep, mom and daughter. The Slutcakes brought everything that they could find, including the kitchen sink, which Ann just brings with her, and I have no idea why. The woman is very, very tough, but I don't know why the hell she carries a kitchen sink. Cherry Lollipop used the cherry bomb onto Alicia Slutcake, threw her out of the ring, right over the top rope and tried to take them both down. Rainbow Light, I'll tell you what, folks, very underrated wrestler. Took out Ann with a super kick, and Cherry Lollipop hit the cherry bomb on Ann as well for the win and the pin. Cherry Lollipop and Rainbow Light, they win their first match, the first tag team match, women's match here in TCW Fantasy Wrestling. It was really awesome. Then we had the tag team qualifying match, the College Club, Nat Lion and Frat Boy against the Pride of Michigan, Gene Stanley and Rusty Simmons. And can I tell you guys something? Gene Stanley and Rusty Simmons are just incredible to watch live. These two guys, they are rock and roll all day long. They party every night, rock and roll every day. And Gene Stanley, Rusty Simmons, they pulled off the victory against Nat Lion and Frat Boy, the College Club. Now, Gene Stanley, Rusty Simmons, they used so many great maneuvers, including the finale, which was the Doomsday Device. They kind of stole that from the Road Warriors, but we're cool with that here at TCW Fantasy Wrestling. Gene Stanley, Rusty Simmons hitting the Doomsday Device on the College Club for the pin and the win. Frat Boy will move on to the junior heavyweight qualifier as well. Nat Lion, he took that vicious Doomsday Device, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen to him, but we'll see. We'll see, folks. Now, in a special attraction match, we had Candace Apple, the Pride of California, and she is from the wonderful city of Fontana, California, as she faced off against Sarah Slutcake, and yes, she's related to Ann and Alicia. Or Alyssa. I'm sorry, Alyssa. So Sarah Slutcake didn't do that well, folks. She got hit with the Apple Smash. Yeah, Candace Apple is just really, really tough chick. And she's going to be going into that women's qualifier soon here. In fact, you'll see her on Monday, too. I don't know who her opponent will be yet, but you'll see her on Monday, and that will be a hell of a fight. So there you go. Candace Apple wins the match. 5 minutes over Sarah Slutcake. In what I could say was one of the quickest matches and most one-sided was the Candace Apple match. Then you had the junior heavyweight qualifying match. Rocky Mysterious from the mysterious part of Nevada against Texas Thunder. You guys can all wonder where he's from, but he's from beautiful Dallas, Texas. And Dallas, Texas should be proud tonight as Texas Thunder finishes off Rocky Mysterious, makes him tap out to the Texas Cloverleaf. You gotta be from, gotta use it if you're from Texas, right? So Texas Thunder uses the Texas Cloverleaf on Rocky Mysterious for the tap out victory and moving on to the junior heavyweight title tournament to crown the world heavyweight or the world junior heavyweight champion. Then, folks, you had the heavyweight qualifying match as Jason Kruger from Wisconsin faced off against Rockstar Ricky Reagan. And Rockstar Ricky Reagan coming out that super long hair. Jason Kruger took every advantage he could to pull it. And the ref had to keep on pulling him away and saying, you can't do that, counting him down. Jason didn't want to get counted out, though, because then he would have forfeited and not moved on to the qualifier. So Rockstar Ricky Reagan and Jason Kruger went an entirety of 23 minutes. It was one hell of a match. Both of these folks should be moving on to the heavyweight championship tournament, but only one will, and that man is Rockstar Ricky Reagan, as he hit a spear onto Jason Kruger that almost knocked him into next Tuesday. And folks, Rockstar Ricky Reagan's going to be moving on to the heavyweight the heavyweight title tournament, and he looks like one of the favorites, folks. I got to say, Rockstar Ricky Reagan, he's the man. All right, then we had the semi-main event, the women's qualifier, the first match that we announced here on the show. We had Vivacious Vanessa Very against Naughty Kitty. from Iowa. That's where Naughty Kitty is, from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. You guys might remember her. She was one of the girls who was in the NWO Sold Out Wrestling pay-per-view back in 2000, I think. If it was 99 or 2000, I can't remember. But Naughty Kitty gave all the fight that she could muster out there, and she brought her big claws, but Vanessa Very, the Vivacious one, gets the pin and the win over Naughty Kitty, moves on in the women's qualifying tournament. So you should check her out. It's going to be a great one, folks. And then in the main event, we had the heavyweight qualifying match. We had a three-way match between George Sony, Blood Drinker, and Bobby Slapjacks. And I got to tell you, folks, it was a great event there. However, we had a little interference that we need to talk about as Steve Thunder came in. Now, Steve Thunder is one of the new signees of TCW Fantasy Wrestling. He's never been here before. Steve Thunder jumps in, hits both George and Bobby with the Thunder Slams, and Blood Drinker gets the pin and the win over George Sony. And after the match, we had Texas Thunder, who you saw earlier in the junior heavyweight qualifier, came back out and joined Steve Thunder and beat up George Sony and Bobby Slapjacks. And folks, I am, as the boss here at TCW Fantasy Wrestling, not very happy to see that, as our main event gets a little bloody and not good. We have things so signed for Monday. We're not going to wait. We're not going to hold it up. This is TCW Fantasy Wrestling. We can book this crap as fast as we want to, and we're going to. Blood Drinker moves on in the heavyweight qualifier, and Rockstar Ricky Reagan, both of those two will face off later down the road. The brackets have not been made yet for the title tournament for that. However, we are going to have a tag team qualifier as Bedlam, which is Texas Thunder and Steve Thunder, because Steve is from Oklahoma, Texas Thunder's from Texas. So Bedlam will be fighting off against George Sony and Bobby Slapjacks. They are going to get their revenge match, and we're going to add this Monday. You will see Bobby Slapjacks and George Sony as they try to get their revenge over Steve Thunder and Texas Thunder. It's going to be a hell of an event on Monday, and I can't wait to call the action on that. It will be a lot of fun, folks. What we do here is we have TCW Fantasy Wrestling every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. Sometimes we do big events on Saturday. And we will have more info for you as we go along, folks. We had a great event this week. So for all the wrestlers in TCW Fantasy Wrestling and all the great people that bring you all the excitement stuff, we are out of here, folks. We are out of time. But check us out on Monday, where we will have the tag team match, which will be our main event. George Sony and Bobby Slapjacks versus Bedlam. And we also have that cage match coming up with Hooded Inmate and Bloodbath McGrath, which will be awesome. Cookie Lopez will be wrestling, and so will Candace Apple, and she fights in the women's qualifier. So check all those matches out, and we will see you guys very soon here at TCW Fantasy Wrestling on the 102550 Network.